talk about this neighborhood and what this neighborhood has been dreaming and envisioning for itself for the past almost 85 years that Monument of Faith has been here. And then Minnie Forte-Brown, who's one of our school board members, but was also, her mom also was a teacher in this building, on this floor, is going to talk about this building, what is true about this community, this building, and why it's important for us to honor that legacy as we think about the future. And now we'll talk about all the work that we have been doing to build a strong foundation to think about the future. Today's event is about all of us. All the things that we're going to talk about is still setting the foundation of what is possible. And so we're also going to encourage and invite you to dream with us. We want you to push us to make sure that this building is the most ambitious thing that it can be and can bring the most light to this community. And we can't do that alone. So as you hear about the past, as you dream with us about the future, I'm already going to invite you to also come back and to hold us accountable to really make sure that we're not just talking about what is possible, but that we do our work in order to make sure that it happens. So on behalf of Student U, on behalf of this community, on behalf of the W.G. Pearson Center, welcome to this new space, this renovated space. We look forward to knowing you individually and also collectively, and we hope that this is not the only time, but the beginning of long relationships with each and every single one of you. And with that, I'm going to let Bishop Laney take us off. Thank you all again for being here.
Good morning. And thank you, Alex, for that great introduction. I am delighted to be with you this afternoon. As already indicated, I am Clarence Laney, and I am blessed to serve on the Student U Board and also blessed to pastor the Monument of Faith Church, which has been a part of this community for over 85 years. And I have a few W.G. Pearson Center, as some of you know, many of you may not know, is a part of the historic Hayti community. And as you will hear in just a moment from Ms. Minnie Forte-Brown, more specifics about the Hayti community, but this community at one time was a vibrant community. It boasted of hospitals, it boasted of restaurants, hotels, movie theaters, funeral homes, schools such as this building which we now sit, and many other businesses. It has been said whatever you needed from birth to death was offered in this community. However, in 1958, as a result of urban renewal, the Durham Freeway was constructed literally through the core of this community. Records suggest that dozens of businesses of a wide variety and hundreds of homes were torn down to construct the freeway. The single-family homes were replaced with housing projects, and the overwhelming majority of its businesses were never replaced. Though not given as an official reason, many blacks said the new freeway was constructed so that whites would not have to drive through Black Durham to get downtown. Regardless of the official or unofficial reasoning, the urban renewal effort was regulatory assault on Hayti, equivalent to modern-day redlining and Jim Crow. The result was devastated Hayti community that left black neighbors without an economic foundation as middle-class blacks and blacks relocated elsewhere. Following the highway construction, currently the community is only a shell of what it once was. However, with the investment of Student U into the W.G. Pearson School and other community projects on the horizon, many residents are hopeful that this community will experience a renaissance or a rebirth. A community that is not gentrified, but a place in which investors and community partners will respect the history of this community and those who live here. This will ensure that everyone benefits from such a renaissance. I am thankful that we are seeing all the great things that are happening in this community, specifically in this building. So I want you to continue to dream with us, to make this community a reality, to make this community become much more than what it used to be. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for your commitment to this building. Thank you for your commitment to Student of you, and we believe that great things will come as a result of your partnership with us here on this afternoon. Now we're going to call for our board member, Ms. Minnie Forte-Brown. Let's give her a hand as she comes.
The school seems small now that I'm older. It was so huge when I was here. Good morning, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is a glorious day for Durham and her history. Student U has preserved an iconic building which has served as a beacon of academic excellence for Black children in this city. I actually attended this school 62 years ago. I started first grade in the fall of 1956, along with 1,158 other children that looked just like me. They became my dear friends, and we all went on to Quidditch, junior high, and then Hillside. Durham City schools were segregated back then, so only Black children who lived in the south central part of the city were assigned to this school. Now, my friends, like I said, went to this school and we're still friends today. From first grade to sixth grade, it was important when you came in here. We were all on the first floor, and some of us were on the second floor for first and second grade and third grade. When you got to be on the third floor, it was awesome. It was a transition that you could be on the third floor because you were now a big kid, okay? My friend, my dear friend, Alice Sharp, some of you may know Alice, who is a downtown dweller, president of the Friends of Durham, didn't live in the city. She lived in Mutual Heights. Now, you have to remember that Durham City stopped at Burlington Street. So that was the county. So her parents wanted her to have a really good, solid education. They didn't want her to go to county schools. So they paid for her to come to W.G. Pearson School. Yes, because she would have had to go to Merritt Moore, which is out of the county. Alice received a full scholarship to Duke when she graduated from Hillside High School in 1967, way back when. So what she received here at W.G. Pearson was solid and strong so that she could go on to junior high and Hillside and become scholars. Now, I can't tell you about the other children that were in here. I could tell you, but that would just take too long. The fabulous things they were doing. Why is this place so special? First of all, it was the largest elementary school in the city of Durham. My mother taught first grade, almost on the end of this first floor. My brothers went here, my daughter went here, and my oldest grandson also went here. Why is it still so special? William Gaston Pearson was larger than life in most of Durham. His character and his reputation were revered. My grandmother used to call him Professor Pearson. He was an educator and he was a businessman. In fact, he owned property that now is considered Forest Hills. We had at this school, unlike other schools in Durham, 3 floors, a separate gymnasium, a library media center, a huge auditorium, 2 playgrounds, and a huge cafeteria. It was special because it was in the heart of the Black business district. As Bishop Laney has said, we were a school on the fringes of ATOC. We were surrounded by Black lawyers, Black pediatricians, Black ophthalmologists, Black dentists, Black-owned barbershops, beauty shops, grocery stores, dry cleaners, insurance companies, banks, realtors, restaurants, gas stations, food halls, drugstores, hotels, donut shops, animal refuge. We had the Bull City Barber College and DeShaze's Beauty College, Stanford L. Warren Library, which served as our after school. We didn't have after school. When you got out of school at 3:15, you had to either go home or you had to go someplace else. So Stanford L. Warren had the kitty corner. And that's where we were. Miss Tuck was our after-school person, okay? We had Lincoln Hospital. We had the largest black churches in Durham here. We had North Carolina Central University right down the street. We had John Avery Boys Club that was there for the boys. We had Harriet Tubman's YWCA that was here for the girls. We had W.D. Hill Recreation Center that was there for all of us to play, dance, and also after-school activities. And in the summer, swimming at Hillside Pool. Children came from all over South Central Durham. Some were from middle-class families, sons and daughters of professionals. Some of us came from blue-collar working families, two-parent families, single-parent families, grandparent-raised children. Our families were very much just like they look today, with some of the same challenges. Why was this place so special in Durham? First and foremost, W.G. Pearson has always been a tradition of academic excellence and academic proficiency for everybody. Inclusion is not a new word. Inclusion is not a new word. We had the best teachers, we had the best principals, and we were innovative even back then. We had a newspaper. It was called The Voice, which students published along with staff. We traveled to New York every year to the Columbia Scholastic Press Association. What a marvelous experience for children in the early 1960s. We had a broadcasters club that made morning announcements. In fact, that's how I started my public speaking career. Guess what? Everybody knew how to read. Everybody knew how to read. So when I think about children that can't read now, that makes no sense to me. It didn't matter where you came from. We had the largest safety patrol unit in this whole city, which competed with other black children in the district and allowed us to make friends with children from Walltown, Lime Park, Crest Street, Burton, Spalding School, and East End. We all traveled to D.C. to participate in the Cherry Blossom Parade. What exposure was that? We stayed at hotels back then. That's why Student Union is perfect for this spot. The very same intentionality regarding academic excellence and exposure are guiding principles for learning and opportunity right here now today. When we left W.G. Pearson, we were ready for junior high school, academically and emotionally. When Dan said he had his eyes on having Student Youth Home be here at W.G. Pearson, the two were perfectly aligned. Access, opportunity, academic excellence. Durham Public Schools taught about preservation before Dan did, and we created a middle school here. That fizzled. It lasted for a while. Then we moved other offices here that even made it a restorative center for our elementary and middle school students that needed separations from school because of discipline issues. Why is this place so special? We had discipline for life that was imparted in all of us. Now, I want you to remember, corporal punishment was lawful back then. And school and home were aligned. So if you got in trouble, if you misbehaved, your teacher could spank you. And even if it was a more serious offense, the principal could spank you. I got my hands spanked by Miss Filia every day for talking. And that's why I claim that my hands are rough now, because she beat me with Black Beauty every day for talking, okay? There were no suspensions. See, there was no such thing as suspending children. You got beat at school, and then your parents leave you at home for misbehaving in school, because parents couldn't take off work and come and stay home with you, all right? The community and the schools were aligned with each other. Why was this place so special? We talk about from farm to table. We talk about fresh food. Well, see, we had this whole thing in the cafeteria. We had cabbage, we had hamburgers with gravy, hot baked yeast rolls, chocolate cake, 25 cents. Is what we paid for lunch. Our cafeteria people nurtured us. Mr. McBroom was our custodian. He nurtured us. Miss Justice was the secretary. She nurtured us. This was a nurturing place for us. I represented the fourth grade, my fourth grade class, in the spelling bee. And I misspelled believe. And the most embarrassing thing was that I had to go back to my classroom. You see, it wasn't like everybody got a trophy back then. If you messed up, only the people that won got a trophy, okay? It wasn't like just participating. No, man, they had to go back up to the stairs for all the time. You didn't know how to spell believe. So, right now, I know how to spell believe. Don't ask me. Lastly and most importantly, we at W.G. Pearson Tigers were proud. We knew that we were great, that we were college bound, that we were ready for the world. We were not intimidated by the challenges that awaited us. We were not allowed to make excuses. It didn't matter where you lived. It didn't matter who your family was. It didn't matter. The mantra was, you will learn. You will do your best. No excuses, no exceptions. Again, that's why Student U stands, what Student U stands for, embodies that same principle. And that's why the community's heart is at peace. We know that the spirit of William Gaston Pearson, the faculty and the staff of this great school, and the proud alumni know that the history is being honored and that the spirit of Sankofa is here. We look back, but we move forward. Thank you.
The floor. Can everyone hear me? If you can hear me, just wave at me. Oh, y'all look so beautiful. It's nice to see you again. So you've heard about the past. You talked about the community. I want you to close your eyes. I want all of you to close your eyes. I'm looking at you so I can tell your eyes are not closed. I want you to close your eyes. One of the things that we talk about at Student Youth, we talk about dreaming fearlessly. I want you to close your eyes and to dream about what is possible in this space. I want you to dream about what we can do with young people, for young people, with their families, with the neighbors in this space. I want you to dream about what we want people to say about what is happening at the W.G. Pearson Center. I want you to dream about how you want to feel, how you want other people to feel when they walk into this space. I'm going to share with you my dream. And then, as I dismiss you from this space, I want you to tell us about what you saw, what you were dreaming about. One thing that is really important to say is that the W.G. Pearson Center is not about student youth. The W.G. Pearson Center is about this community. When we thought intentionally about all of the ambitions that our community has, we thought it was really important that while we are the stewards of this space, that we're also creating an individual identity that is bigger than any one of us. William Gaston Pearson was a man who was larger than life and had incredible ambitions for this community, and that will not happen with only one person. This building will only live to its full potential and all the dreams that you will have when we come together and say, this is what we want to be true here, and work collectively every day to make that happen. So one of the things I want to say as we start and I share you about my dreams is that we already have partners who are coming alongside us to make sure that the dreams that we have together are coming together. So we have Book Harvest here. Book Harvest is an organization that's been working with young people and their parents on increasing literacy in our community, and they're going to be a partner with us because we know that we can't make the dreams that you have for this space come together on our own. Ginger, can I have you raise your hand? Ginger is the executive director. Everyone wave at Ginger, say, hey Ginger. Hi Ginger. Great. We also know that this building is also about community, right? And that we want people to feel known and welcome and to feel like someone is caring for them, and that we can't do that on our own. And so another partner that we have here is We Build Fellowship. They're going to be having churches here on Sundays, but they also want to think about how do we really make sure that this building is poised and people feel like they can come here, feel known and cared for, and so they're going to be in this building. Chuck, can I have you raise your hand? Everyone wave at Chuck, say, hey Chuck. have another partner here, and I'm not sure if William is in this space, but we also have Village of Wisdom, because we know that when we think about working with young people and making sure that they are excellent and that they have quality education, that they cannot do that without their parents. And so we needed to also have another partner in the building that is really thinking about children. And so we have Village of Wisdom here, whose whole work is around empowering parents to make sure that they have access to the skills they need to be advocates for their children in schools, but also in the community. William is not here, so y'all can just wave at me and say, hey, William. Pass it on that to you. So we know that it's really important that this is not just about student youth. This building is bigger than us, and I want you to hear that as you live this space, that if you leave here and just think, student youth running this building on its own, we did not do our due diligence. This is bigger than us. This is about the WG Pearson Center, and we want you to know that as you live here. That's important. So I'm going to share with you my dream. Student Youth World College Access and Success Organization has been here for 11 years, and our work has been working with young people. And so when I think about my dream, of course I start by thinking about young people and what we want to be true for them. When I think about this building, I see young people ages 0 to 24 coming here to have access to the educational opportunities they deserve in order to be successful. And while I think that's really important, I also think that young people are powerful and have incredible ideas about how this community can be different and how we can better serve them. And I want this space to be a place where they are equipped and their passions are ignited and they start to push our community around how we can do things differently. How we can do things differently in their schools, how we can do things differently in their neighborhoods. And that us, the old folks here, I consider myself old by this point since I've been here for a decade, that we would start to listen to them. And not placate them, but really say, this is what young people are saying, and they're organizing in their school, and they're learning from that at WG, and that is impacting Durham, and we can take away from them. We want to make sure that we are leading, young people are leading us, and that's what I want to be true in this space. That when you come here, young people feel like this is a safe space for them. This is somewhere where they can go and get access to the resources they need. This is a place where they can dream and know that the adults here will support them in making their dreams. That's what I want for young people in this space. I also said that young people do not live in isolation, they live in families, right? And if we want young people to be successful, we want to think intentionally about how can we also make sure that their parents have what they need in order to be successful. So I want parents to feel like when they come here that this is a place where they can also be nurtured to continue to grow. I want parents to have access to opportunities to get better jobs, right? We want parents to have access to how can I have more stable housing for my children? How can I push for my children in school? But not just for my child, but for all the other children who go to school with my children. We want this space to be a place where parents feel like I am not just a byproduct, but I am intentionally being cared for when I come into this community. That's really, really important. The last thing that I dream about is for the community to feel like this is a space for them too. Bishop Laney started by talking about how Hayti was at its prime in the 1950s, and then we built a highway and we took away a lot of promises for this community. What I want to be true, I want this building to feel like those promises that were made then are starting to come to fruition, right? We want people who live here, who have lived in this community for 50 years, for 60 years, for 70 years, to feel like they are starting to have a place that feels like their own too. I envision that in our fields, all of the beautiful fields, that people will have picnics here, that they will come and hang out, that there will be intense games of basketball. We have a new basketball gym, y'all. That there will be basketball on the field, that there will be soccer outside, that neighborhood associations would meet here and say, this is what we wanted for our community, and this is our time to make sure that we not just have dreams, but that they come to fruition for us. I want people to come here and vote. I want people to come here and hold elected officials accountable for making sure that they're not forgotten. This is what I see, and that's just me. I want you to close your eyes again. And I want you to think about what you see now. What did I leave out that you think is really important to be part of our collective dream? Because this is not about just one of us, this is about all of us. In a minute, I'm going to dismiss you to spend time in the building. This is your time to see all of the things that Minnie talked about. The huge cafeteria, the auditorium, the first floor where her mother taught. The day is designed in a way that you will start first by learning about the history of the space. And if you're a part of this community or went to school here, we want to hear from you. We have a space where we actually have a publications called The Voice that our students read, and they're going to be reporting stories. So if you're a part of this community, we want to hear from you about your experience in this community, because it's really important to hold on to that. Then you're going to go to the second floor and you're going to hear from the partners who are already here. On that floor, we also want you to dream about who are the other people who should be here too, who should join with us in order to make sure that this building can become its full potential. And on the third floor, you're going to hear questions from young people that they want you to answer to help us make sure that we're providing the kind of opportunities they want moving forward. And then we're going to have food, because there are food trucks, and what better way to fellowship than to eat? So after you do all that, you can go downstairs and there'll be places where you can eat and where you can just spend time with one another. Community is really, really important. I'm from the Ivory Coast, and one of the things that my father taught me is if you want to do something important in your life and you want to be in community, you feed people well and you let them stay a while, right? Because when we break down those walls, we can really think about what do we want, but also what is it going to take from each and every single one of us to make it happen. So we don't want you to just take the tour and leave. We want you to take the tour and make this feel like home. Put all of your thoughts and your ideas here with us so that we can continue to make sure that this building lives into its full potential. Again, on behalf of Student U, on behalf of the center, on behalf of this community and all the people who've invested in this space, thank you all so much for coming for this reopening. We hope that this is not the beginning, the only time that we see you, but the beginning of a long relationship and partnerships as we all work together to making sure that this center fulfills its full potential. Thank you all so much for coming.